know how I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to our coverage of the D2CL. After an extended break, due to the fact that Valve decided to patch in the middle of tournaments, the Dota 2 client, we have the new version up and running right now. So, fingers crossed, let's hope this all goes well, and we are going to go on a discovery journey with the teams as well, because they've had no time whatsoever to practice this new map. It has only just hit, like, literally in the last hour, and we did have some delays as we had the Peruvians downloading, as well as our other American team. You'll also notice too, the American team has a rather famous stand-in. In fact, two of them right now. We have Pandago as well as MSS coming into the lineup here for Dream Destroyers. So the lineup of Dream Destroyers is going to be looking to hit pretty hard into Union Gaming. As far as this matchup goes too, the Dream Destroyers are actually out of the D2CL. So this actually is a dead rubber of a game. The Dream Destroyers, man, if they win both their games right now, if they win both their games right now, technically, they get into 5th position, but they've still got too many losses that they can't get themselves into the top 4. And we're gonna get Terrorblade, everybody. I knew one of these guys is going to get through. Funny enough, he still bans out the Faceless Void. This is the new version, boys and girls. The Faceless Void, not as strong. But the Terrorblade will arrive into the game. The first pickup here by Dream Destroyers. And we'll look for our early push. We will look for our early push. As hard as they possibly can.
I speak for the trees.
And Nature's Prophet, a Death Prophet. Alright, so, okay. How do we approach this? You can still go for your standard drafts. You go with what you practiced, or you feel a little bit more outside the box, and you just farm up like an absolute beast, and use the power of meant to be OP heroes. That's one way to do it. We've still got Bloodseekers in the pool. We've still got our other new kids on the block. The Legion Commander was, of course, removed. But there's a lot of different heroes which have been modified. Remember too, the map has been modified as well. So the way these heroes would normally work does kind of change again. A lot of tower pushing though is still a good amount of tower pushing. That's where the quality comes in. So if you don't want to take the team fights, you want to run the risk of giving away large amounts of money. I know Nahas was sitting there before just tweeting out saying that one of the bounties earlier tonight in the Starlighter game, which is currently going on, I believe is also drawing to a close. It was 2k gold bounty for Fogged. That's how much he got from one of the kills. So you got to be careful about winning the fights and then not losing yourself after that point. So you got to be a lot more careful about Game of Throws, because that could really just kick you in the teeth. Alright, so Dream Destroyer is taking a long time on this next one.
Skywrath Mage.
Skywrath Mage. Simple control. Okay, combo with the Terrorblade. We should actually run through the Terrorblade. We haven't done Terrorblade at all. So, first ability, Reflection. So, pierces the spell immunity. No, it does not. Of course, you have to remember too, we've changed all of our extra things, so there's no... it's only physical, magical, and pure damage now. There's none of this composite damage or anything like that. So... We're locked down into these kind of things. So Terrorblades bring forth an invisible dark illusion. One of the target enemy heroes. The enemy hero is slowed and attacked by the illusion for a short duration. So 2.5 up to 5.5. And then the illusion damage is up to 70% at the maximum. So the movement slow is 60%, attack slow later on. The conjure image, additional image, damage taken is 200%. Illusion damage is also going to get higher in the later levels. And then metamorphosis. I believe I was listening to Alvi last night talking about this. It's like when the Terrorblade triggers this ability, that's when you attack him. So when you have a crack, not with all the other illusions up on the field. But then the Sunder. Like, this is the crazy thing. So the minimum HP swap is 25%, then 20%, then 15%.
10
so
seconds remaining.
a lot of heavy work to come in for a Terrorblade, and some of those heroes who might be thinking, "Oh, I'm looking good on life," and all of a sudden, no, they're not. He just swaps it around, and the following damage just destroys you straight away. So the Terrorblade for the Dream Destroyers is going to work nicely. And of course, then you combine that up with the Skywrath Mage, who then follows up with like seals and burst damage. Some good hits. Some good hits. Now, Union Gaming, what do we go with the rest of our bands? So Jakiro and the SK is going to be removed. Razor and Batrider, very kind of standard bands, except for like the Legion Commander, which is now just everyone is realizing it and understands that this will be one of the most powerful heroes in the current meta. At least in the new meta. So they had to have him being banned out. There was really no other choice. So Skywrath Mage and the Terrorblade for their combos later. Does UG just try and force this with a push? That's another way they could approach this. So UG with a 28-second countdown now. They're going to have to make a decision. Do they go for the full push? Do we see Pugnards appearing in? And they go with a bit more control. Coming up with the Earthshaker selection. So we go with our standard roaming kind of support. Pushing power still good. Initiation now rise to Dream Destroyers with that Centaur. So a follow-up combination. We saw this pick up multiple times already tonight. The Centaur and Skywrath Mage actually normally coming up in the first two. But with the whole new patch, everyone's like, maybe things are a little bit different now. So Union Gaming, their fourth hero pickup. We've already got the Earthshaker. So we're going for more lane control and then a timing push from them, judging by the fact you've already got the Earthshaker. They will need some stunners and controllers.
10 seconds remaining.
So I want to go with the Earthshaker, or they just say, let's sit back and farm up and hopefully we'll be fine.
5 seconds
Grab
remaining.
ourselves an Enigma and use the pushing power of the Eidolons. Might be a little bit more problematic though, going up against a Skywrath and a Terrorblade. I don't think that Enigma will have a very fun time on the map. But Union Gaming, Benjaz, you got to make a choice now, man. You should also remember that the Timbersaw got massively buffed up in this version. The Elf lanes are a lot easier to play now. And they go for a Rubik.
Dire team pick.
Good steal abilities, but nothing major on him. The Death Prof was actually even nerfed a little bit. Just an extra 20 seconds on the cooldown. I want to double check these heroes as we go through them. So Wraith King Reincarnation mana cost was increased by 20. It's negligible, but it is there. We had Rubik. I don't think actually had any. Where we got. Yeah, Rubik actually had no changes. He was the one man that was one of the very few heroes that was untouched. Earthshaker got a little bit more. He got changed slightly. So the Echo Slam initial attack is now the same magical damage type as the rest of its damage. So the initial damage no longer pierces spell immunity. So that's the only thing really changed up on him. And as far as the rest of them go, Nature's Prophet. I'm surprised they're picking this hero up. Primarily because Nature's Prophet.
5 seconds remaining.
He's not a hero. Like the Nature's Call now, the Treant Magic Resistance is from 20% down to 0. Which basically means that if you got something like, Feybolt or Crypt Swarm, then the Treants are dead. They're dead very, very quickly. Centaur is probably going to be a man that will be able to evaporate those very, very quickly as well. So the pushing power, you can't just send a huge army down there. And yeah, this is going to be. At least they don't have a lot of quick magical clearance up against the Prophet. That's one upside for him. But his split push power is really nerfed, and nerfed fairly heavily. So Union Gaming now. Their last selection. What do we get? The TA and the Mirana with the final bans out. So with the Dire side, I'm not going to say Dire side advantage because with that pit, I still want to see how it plays out to see who really has the advantage there. But we'll notice it when the teams start moving themselves around Roshan, how you get the quick jump-ins. The Weaver is the final selection. The man that could drop very, very low on life. That time lapse is not going to be easy, and his being controlled by a Skywrath Mage and a Hoof-Stopping Centaur. very, very simple for Dream Destroyers to do. But last hero from Dream Destroyers. I'm still waiting for all the new ones to arrive. If we do go into a full dead rubber, and that'll be if Union Gaming lose this first matchup,
10 seconds
then we are
remaining.
in a full dead rubber. There is no
5 seconds remaining.
there is no coming back from that for either of these teams. 7 losses and you're out. The game which I thought wasn't resulted before was actually resulted. It was a default win, which we didn't actually have recorded, which was Navi NA. They got a default win over Pain Gaming. So Pain Gaming will step in 3rd position. And the puck will be the final one from Dream Destroyers, one of MSS's favorite heroes. We'll see if he gets that. So we'll just have ourselves, hey, they changed that frame rate loss, didn't they? Yeah. One of MSS's favorite heroes coming in as the last one for Dream Destroyers. So, a good controlling hero, a secondary one over on the Weaver, and a way they can have silence in the lineup. That's primarily what that's capable of doing. So, into the game we go. We start game number 1 of our 2-game series of the D2CL. Let's just have a look at this man. Because really, I kind of like his model.
Prepare for battle.
He definitely looks like someone, like, forged him, as opposed to being born. I mean, he's like that thing out of Thor. Yeah. A little path behind him. It's always so easy to follow where Terrorblade walks, though. Always, you'd think you'd, like, learn stealth abilities. I suppose when you kind of glow green, like, you've gone full... This is like the full disco man. He'll be up on the top lane. So they're going to run a Terrorblade Safe Flame. Skywrath Mage supporting. MSS will be the puck with an old talisman, so we'll be going towards the middle lane. The off-lane Centaur, and that puts Pandago as the Wraith King support. And then UG running their Earthshaker as well as Rubik combination together. The off-lane Weaver. So they're going to try and run an aggro, or at least a starting aggro tri-lane. It will rotate into something else later. In the middle lane will be the Death Prophet played by Sidrel. And that leaves Angel as Nature's Prophet going up with his Nature's Call. It's like, please, let them survive. I don't think won't be allowed. So yeah, let's actually look at some other parts. So we haven't looked at this yet. So we'll have a bit of a pick over on the bottom lane. So you got this big ass cliff spot. You'll have to walk yourself in pretty close to get the Observer Ward up. I don't know if you guys should get it. You can get it in from the ancient area too. So this is our new ancient area for the Dire side.
Regeneration.
Just a regen rune. Nothing much more. And you got a new change up to this area. So you're able to move deeper into the tree line around the side. This will allow you to come up and loop around. Of course, you're still going to come into range of, like, it's not the vision of the tier 1 tower. You can slip yourself up here with smoke, which does mean you can gank the side lane. But it means you've also got to look at, like, different observer walls. Like, this observer wall comes down, and this actually even sees into the front of the Roshan pit from where it is. And also down to all the other areas. He also has perfect vision of these tree lines, so it's very difficult for a support hero to come up to the side and gank him up. While up on top lane, speaking of the gank, they're trying to go in for the Rubik. Pick him up, throw him back, trying to get him out of range with a Hellfire Blast and the Orb attack. They need to get that kill over on the Rubik before the Skywrath goes down. And they're successful at doing so. Actually, no, they're not. The Earthshaker kills with the Skywrath first. The Rubik gets the second kill, so Skywrath Mage not getting first blood here. I mean, the Terrorblade not getting first blood, he gets second blood instead. And the Skywrath Mage is the man that's pushing up the daisies. The aggressive movement up on top. As far as this area goes, it hasn't changed that much. The tree line is still basically the same for the Radiant offlane. It's just this area which was, I think it was actually slightly reworked with this pathing. Oh, they're going for another pickup. Throw down, Pandago. Now he's the man in trouble. Shikuchi up. Shikuchi damage has to connect for them to get this kill. And he's right behind him on the back of Pandago. And Benjaz, well, now he's in trouble. He's gone up too far here. And Shikuchi's still on cooldown. No telekinesis to save him. And the Hellfire Blast also been thrown out by Pandago. Throwing all of his life and mana at this. And Jericho's going to get really annoyed. He's got one more clarity up his sleeve, but the Orb's going to connect on him. Alright, he already has to trigger that clarity. So this offlane, Centaur not having as great a time as I thought he would. Probably needs to get this ring down here as well, so he's got a little bit more protection up against the Nature's Prophet's harassment. But it's having a 1-1-1 across the build. MSS can have some good times up against the Death Prophet. Phase shift should be easy enough to try and evade this attack from the Death Prophet. And Rubik, well, they managed to force this Terrorblade back out a little bit. 6 for 0 on his CS. At the same time, you check out Angel, who's running the safe lane here. It's 8 for 4, but it is a 1v1. So you should be looking at the Weaver instead, who's 7 for 1 in the lane. So it's fairly even as far as the CS for the cores go. It's just the 2 for 1 in favor of DD after that Weaver just pushed himself up a little bit too far. And got that death to his name. They want to go for another fissure. There's no cuts through these tree lines. They still got to do it the old-fashioned way. And Justin just enjoying soaking up the experience on this top lane. The creep wave's already been pulled over. It's a double stack as well, so most of this creep wave will be denied up, which is kind of like the worst thing can have happen when you're running an aggro tri-lane. Because this means you're just losing out an experience for your supports, while the enemy are gaining a lot of experience for their supports. But the Vampiric are also up for Pandago. Surprisingly, he leveled that one up. This will allow him to actually use the jungle a lot more effectively. The only downside is he's going to be still rather short on mana. And now UG, with their double stack of a camp, they denied their own creep wave on the side and even a pick up on the Wild Wing. And so they kept the aggro of the creep wave. The Dire Observer Ward's watching this pretty closely, and Skywrath managed to just attack the creep wave and drag it back up again. But they've been a little bit too late, so they're going to let the pull happen. They still want to drag it over, but they're not going to be able to. Benja's a little level 3 now, so the creep wave's going to come underneath the tower. How's that Centaur doing? Still trying to buy into his Tranquil Boots, got himself a Ring of Protection. We'll have to fly out some consumables to this bottom lane as well, as an health consumable. Hellfire Blast, MSS, he got the rune in time. This is the death of the Rubik. All damage straight through him. Jericho was moving over to try and lend him a friendly fissure. He didn't get there in time, and MSS, not only did he get the rune beforehand, we get our new rune up and running. So the bounty rune. Regenerate.
Middle tower is under attack.
Restores both health and mana over time. Effect is lost if you're attacked. The only bottle refills in the fountain. No, that's just a bottle. Yeah, use control. Yep, you know. That's the bounty rune. We actually get more tooltips with this kind of thing? Nope. Great. Pandago, moving forward. Now the throw out. They got the Hellfire Blast over on the Weave. He's the one stunned up. He's got enough time to get away. The burn from the Wraithfire Blast. Not enough. Now Jericho staying in close. There's another orb damage in a moment. They've got to throw one attack into him in the corner. He's on 4 life points. And the Terrorblade sends the image in. They'll still lose the Skywrath Mage over on the side, but the Terrorblade does get the kill nonetheless. Now it'll finish up his Ring of Aquila. And we got Benjaz as well as Rubik waiting for a moment on top again. Jericho's returned. They're backing up. In fact, they've actually got a lane rotation. It's the smoke from the Wraith King coming down to this bottom lane. Angel won't really be ready for this. A hoof stomp into the 3-point double edge. That's a lot of damage, but then Angel, well, he started his TP out. And Pandago, well, the surprise is broken, but Angel stuck around long enough. The Stampede is up, hoof stomp, and the double edge, and Angel will go down. So a good rotation out from Pandago. I thought he was toast. Didn't realize it was still in nighttime, so the nighttime vision for Pandago saved him then when the tree army was created. MSS is going to go for another rune. Nope. Not yet, at least. The upside about running now bottle heroes in the mid, you don't have to use the courier. The courier is completely free to do whatever he wants. There will be a haste rune. Look how exposed that is. Right next to Roshan, his new home. The haste rune is in such an open position. The top one at least allows you to like have a quick jump in. So they're running the Wraith King up north. Pandago did the right thing. He's actually looping himself around so far. He won't be spotted by that Observer Ward that's in the middle lane. Should also flag the fact that Earthshaker is no longer up on the top. And Pandago, oh, they got themselves a kill. He's holding onto the Hellfire Blast for as long as possible. Because the Telekinesis is still available. He's got to pick up and then throw back. And he's trying to get, well, Chobo up on top of the high ground. But that would have just given solo experience to the Wraith King. Which actually wouldn't have been as bad.
Don't mind me.
Because the Wraith King hitting level 6 is nice, but it's not... Like, it's still... His reincarnation is not something he wants to be leveling up straight away. Terrorblade's now walking around with Sunder. Watching Benjaz very closely for his timing on time-lapse. Because he can find himself a very, very sad camper very, very quickly. Oh, this Earthshaker still waiting for a chance to go on the Centaur. With Stampede up though, it's next to impossible. But he doesn't own a Tango. Might actually be worth buying a Quelling Blade for this Centaur at the moment. They're like you got one stun that can stop his TP out.
Denied.
I know he wants the Blink Dagger, but he's gonna move over for the 8-minute rune. The Observer will watch for it. But you're able to control 2 sets of runes. This actually like opens up your possibilities too for going bottle off lane heroes. Because normally you're gonna leave the lane anyway. So you guarantee that, yeah, so you got Grant's bonus golden experience. MSS is waiting for it. There he is. He'll pick that little sucker up. And he's going to come down to the bottom lane to try and find himself a kill here. As Jericho is just hiding in the tree line for the moment. He's so close to that Centaur, who doesn't have a Blink Dagger, but he does still have Stampede. But with no heroes really showing themselves on the lane, he's being overcautious about this. At least Jericho knows he's in a good position to lay off that fissure. But the Centaur's got such an open area on these trees on the side that it doesn't really matter. You even check out the trees which he munched into. Well, there's only 3 trees he had to eat with tangos. He's got such an open area on the side that fissure blocking for Jericho, he can only do it with basically the river edge now. You can't just lock him inside the lane for long periods of time. Alright, so puck back into the mid lane. Still just holding on to this room for the moment.
Radiant's middle tower is
That's
under
what's happening
attack.
up on top lane. Well,
Dire's
exorcism
top
time.
tower is under attack.
Death Prophet will start the push. The Prophet's TPing in as well. Angel making use say he's got Wrath of Nature available, but welcome to your first big fight. Terrorblade, time to prove your worth. Creates 2 of himself, gets the stun over on the Nature's Prophet, so no Wrath of Nature coming off just yet. The Dream Core catching out 4 heroes. The Centaur in as well. It's a 1-for-1 trade-off, but in comes Terrorblade in through the rear. Looking over towards Sidral, is beating him down with another Hellfire Blast. It's a triple kill coming the way of the Terrorblade. He's looking to battle again. He just sundered. But the Weaver into the tree line. Chikuchi out again. Pendago needs to get himself in range to get this done off Penjaz. Visible around the side, but he'll bail out. So the Terrorblade getting a crap ton of kills from that one. They did sacrifice a lot of DD in order to get that. And everyone will just TP themselves back out to the lanes. But you do now have a 5-0 Terrorblade. 4.8k in the net worth. I'll be very happy with this. TPs from Prophet. They're going to try and commit again. They think that's a real Terrorblade. If they initiate on this one, Angel starts. They throw Crypt Swarms, they throw attacks, and yep, nothing. And the push will now come to the tier 1 tower, and they will take this. They're looking for some level of trade-off. Not going to fight it on the map.
Top tower has fallen.
So there goes your bounty rune to go the Skywrath Mage's way. Oh, is he going to save it for MSS again? What a nice boy. What a nice boy. You should just get greedy, Skywrath. Take it yourself. Actually left it sitting there because MSS is too busy with the creep wave. That's why they're massively peeing it out saying, can you please go and try and get this? Pendago, who'd love to throw a stun, but it's still a projectile. Let's get the Centaur moving up. Now MSS will finally come down and grab it. Uses all of his bottle charges for that. While top lane, sentry wards are down, but Penjaz is far enough away they'll see him. But his Shikuchi's already up at level 4. So catching him out of position is difficult to impossible. Alright, more help now coming to the bottom lane. Angel, back to his defense duties, building into a mech for his team, 100 gold away. He'll have that after farming up this creep wave. Centaur, careful with those Tranquil Boots, as the Rubik will be making his way in. Steals double edge, so some nice damage for him at the same time. Centaur ulti, they'll be dropped down top. There goes your double edge from both of them. And the Centaur's holding on to his. He can still get the kill, but he'll die to the Rubik. I think the Fable bounce off those Harpy Scouts. Now the silence on the Earthshaker. No Echo Slam available. They've got to keep their distance here. He'll throw the Echo Slam, and MSS takes it. But there's more support in the way in. MSS going to join himself away to safety. Even finding himself another bounty rune now.
My dreams.
But he'll lose his Skywrath Mage very, very quickly. He's still got more bottle charges required.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Haven't even visited this part of the map just yet. And so far out of the way of everybody. There's your bounty rune kicking in. So Death Prophet also picks up a double damage rune. I look towards this tier 1 tower in the middle lane. Exorcism. Still on cooldown for a long time, and the DDE rune is not enough to really try and force that. Even if you do have phase boots, now you completed drums over on the Death Prophet. You'll still need some time before you'll feel you can force a lane. I do put down an Observer. What's I suppose you do have Nature's Call up, but MSS. Oh, these poor little treants. Level 4 treants, and one orb takes away half the life points. You've still got the Skywrath Mage looking for a way in, but he needs more help. Justin's on his way in too. Stampede in 6 seconds. They'll need to use Fortification to buy some time, so the first Terror Blade comes in. They're looking for a turnaround onto this. The Fissure connects on Pandago as well as on the Skywrath. And that's just a defensive pickup telekinesis. The Blink Dagger's now arrived over on the Centaur, so he's ready to fight this time around. They don't lose their tier 1 tower, and I highly doubt that UG are going to let this go. Pandago is also coming down the bottom lane. He's rushing up Blink Dagger. He needs to be the initiator onto the Nature's Prophet, and also have point blank range initiation into the Weaver. So that's his primary goal right now. They don't see Angel moving into the side area, but just one Hellfire Blast, and the Skywrath Mage has to be in range. So like, he can blast him now and do some chip damage. Actually, the Skywrath will get in range. Concussive Shot, Seal. He's winning on the Mystic Flare. The Meg Charge will trigger, which means he's short of the mana. There's more orb attacks. There's also the Hellfire Blast. This will be enough damage. He goes for the Quick Wrath of Nature. And this will help out middle lane. Centaur War Runner actually already low on life. The Bogs will connect over to him. The Fissure will make sure he stays where he is. He'll get the ulti off. Attempted denial by MSS, but way too late. While up on top lane, the Terror Blade is now forcing out a tier 1 tower. Fortification will kick in. As now the Dire do lose their tier 1 tower in mid. Fortification straight back off cooldown, as is the new way. And Terror Blade retreating. Pandago as well as the Skywrath Mage are enjoying their levels on this bottom lane. And especially Pandago getting that farm. Blink Dagger essential for him. They kind of want to give more farm to Skywrath Mage too, so he can have the Arcane Boots. That's not only essential for him to have a mana pool, but also for Wraith King to have that burst regeneration of mana during the fights. So both are important to him. How's Angel looking? So Null Talisman, only one of them so far. And a casual Belt of Giant Strength. So it could be a second Null Talisman. It's not going to be the Blade Mail build, because you don't go the Belt of Giant Strength for that.
Come to me.
So that's more than likely going to be there for the Necro units. Perfect units to have up against Wraith King, and Wraith King. No, he's going BKB. Screw the jump in. He picks up a Mithril Hammer from the very start. So no Blink Dagger for this Wraith King. You will have now a Yasha arriving over on the Terror Blade. And he doesn't look big, but he really is. And now attacking the top tower with the Yasha as well. And it's just not a happy situation when you go up against the Terror Blade. This guy is too strong. I'm expecting game number 2 will be banned in the first set. Unless they try and pick it up for themselves. Now Blink, Hoof Stomp, and they got the seal on Benjaz. Just at the same time he tried to get his Shikuchi off.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And they controlled him up perfectly. And the Mystic Flare was, however, triggered. The silence out from the crop, but again, Pandago moving towards the front lines. Now the Centaur, Hoof Stomps in again, double edge with that Skywrath, throwing out whatever damage he has, but it's not enough. The reincarnation will be used. MSS has Dream Call, trying to control the Earthshaker. Phase shift actually evaded the Fissure. Turns around, now Pandago being dropped by the Echo Slam, and MSS stuck in the tree line. He buys everything he's got with the money he has. Sidra will pick up a double kill. Then UG will take the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. Well, Justin's backing the crap out of that top lane. Creates more of himself. But the damage has been done by the rest of his team that tried to fight that on the bottom lane. They thought they had the pick-off. They thought they just had a quick, easy pick-off. But UG was rotating. And you'd expect a rotation anyway. If Exorcism is coming off cooldown, and there's already the other 2 tier 1 towers down, what do you do next? You take another tier 1 tower, and that's what they got in the bottom lane. Overall net worth now increasing up to about 1,000 going the way of UG. The experience as well, for the first real time in this game, going their way. And Death Prophet's pulling in some decent money too. Actually already has the full Yule Scepter once this courier is able to get all the way back to base and come back out again. Oh, they're pinging up now. That's the Centaur saying, can we get a ward up here? We've lost all our outer towers, so we need to have vision around. It doesn't see in Roshan. It just sees around Roshan. But it'll definitely note the second anyone tries to come in and gank him up on the bottom lane through that tree line area. Meanwhile, up on top lane, the illusion of Terrorblade. Farming. Weaver's going to go into a basic Lincoln Sphere. Also, another weird thing, I don't know if Terrorblade, Terrorblade probably, well, he won't anyway. Lincoln Spheres don't really help the DD lineup in this game. Because the fact that the second attack from Gemnate triggers Lincoln Sphere, it just makes it so impossible to fight up against a Weaver if you try and buy Lincolns as a good protection item.
Middle tower is under
You just get your life points instead. Alright. Movement up that middle lane. Top lane, they found Weaver. Just MSS as well as Skywrath together again. The double silences. That Wrath of Nature, it's pretty hard to MSS. And Angel back into defense duties.
Bottom tower is under attack.
This Terrorblade is still getting bigger and bigger. And no one's doing anything about him. He's up to 9.2k. This guy farms so fast. The beauty of about the Yasha. He's just going everywhere across the map. You got the illusion farming up in the mid. And you got an illusion farming up in the jungle. And you got the real hero moving up to the top lane to also continuously farm. it's like watching a meat bub on the map. It's just money, not experience. Well, there's 4 heroes now moving down to the bottom lane. So with Exorcism back off cooldown again the push will be coming. The question is, does Terrorblade feel like fighting? He has a Mana Style and a TP scroll coming out to him. So he can TP him, but he'll need some time to be bought by the rest of his teammates. The fortification's doing part of it. The courier's flying as fast as it possibly can. And now Yule Scepter up. There's still that Wraith King. He doesn't have his ultimate. A minute off cooldown for the reincarnation. Attempted denial. Not gonna happen and the tower just goes down. Skywrath Mage, not the greatest position in the world. Just some Mystic Flares being used as cover fire. Needs to cut through the tree line, but the bug's going to be on him. And this should be his death. The Fissure to attach, and then the instant Fade Bolt to follow up from the Rubik. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Terrorblade, Terrorblade, and Terrorblade. Oh! Oh! Mercy! Mercy, please! Please, please! The push is coming down middle lane. They're looking to catch out here so they can't come back and defend. Angel, well, now the steal. It's going to be Stampede, but the Dream Coil's going to lock him here. The Wolf Stop on top of 2. He's looking for a good angle for the double edge, but then again, he'll die if he doesn't. So into the tree line. 1 second, 2 second. New juke spots around the corner. Feel a little unnatural for camera work, but we're okay. The Centaur, however, is not. That tier 3 tower was dropped down to 1/3 of its life point by one pushing Terrorblade 20 minutes into the game. Farm Terrorblade, but he hasn't got kills in the last 10 minutes. It's just him farming that's letting him skyrocket in such a fashion. And they're going to keep on battling down now. Pandago to the bottom lane. With a Maelstrom from him, they really are trying to make this Wraith King into a carry. He's got his 2nd level up in the ultimate, so he's fine with that. That means him dying now isn't as critical. Instead of having like that huge ass cooldown, 260 seconds is just so damn long. Now, Blink Dagger plus that ultimate orb. I'll be assuming this will be a Scythe of Vice and not a Lincoln Sphere. It could still be the Lincoln Sphere because I'm buying you time to escape, but he can give it to the Terrorblade. Let Terrorblade have a Lincoln Sphere effect on him. Mid tier 2 push coming again. This time with the Crypt Swarm. This time though, Justin's going to be here from the start. The tower does go down. And Centaur actually blinks himself away, so the initiation's gone. And they can see Justin moving because of the Observer Ward. And that's the stolen Stampede, which Rubik still has from the last fight. They'll send a fake Terrorblade illusion back in again. While the Fidget's on Pandago. He's quite happy to stand here, remember. Level 2 reincarnation, it's okay if he loses that. While on bottom lane, Justin's looking for a tier 2 tower. He just keeps the split push going with this Terrorblade. Never lets him defend. It's a Lincoln Spear now over for the Weaver. So it's his standard item. 22 minutes in, we get an Invis rune now into the bottle. And we get a new rune into the bottle as well of the Weaver. So Justin and Justin and Justin and more of Justin pushing the bottom lane. The Sprat is trying to keep the creep wave away. The Weaver Bug's unable to actually latch into the Terrorblade, so he just TPs himself away to safety. But it doesn't stop all of his illusions from attacking into that tier 2 town, doing a lot of damage. While up on top lane, Jericho is going to drop. Good initiation. Dream Core still available. That's why they're going to bump him up with the Yule Scepter, which means he takes the damage when he hits the deck, but Blink's coming off cooldown. He phase shifts just in case the the Fate Bolt was able to connect on him. And the Rubik will try and juke it around the tree line. Going ring-a-ring-a-rosy inside the Dream Call. Then with the Centaur Stomp stolen. Does hold him there a little bit longer. But there's still the 2 supports going to go down. And in the meantime, tier 2 tower in the mid. So you've actually got a Terrorblade with the lifesteal coming up from the Wraith King. This one pays to be an old Warcraft 3 player, because you know these heroes back to front. Wraith King, still got enough mana for a Reincarnation. His teammates are also just around the corner, so the Reincarnation will be used. There's no mana for a Mystic Flare. Actually, he's still on cooldown, but he can get just the instant. Okay, he cracks the Lincoln Sphere first. And Justin moves back over again. The damage into the Skywrath Mage, not enough. Out in low life. Pandago also out on low life. They all escape. There's just no killing potential because they try to get both heroes. If they went for just one, it would have been possible, but they try to get both of them down. Just didn't work. Justin back to his farming. And the Skadi is on the way. It's the first ultimate orb being picked up. Benjaz looking up towards that mid-tier 3 tower now. The Exorcism Prophet back off cooldown again. They're going to try and breach. For the 4th time in this game now. They'll try and breach high ground. Terrorblade Illusion just slows them down. Orb as well. Trees are looking too healthy. Until the mech charge does kick in. They've already got the Necro units as well. It's a level 2 set of Necro units on the front lines. Keeping that mana burning out of Pandago. But really right now he's just a Hellfire Blast anyway. Trying to get those Maelstrom procs off. Does buy the Blink Dagger, so his initiation will be arriving, flying in on the Courier. And this is their chance to try and get a counter initiation in. Centaur ulti will fly. Concussive shot looking for somebody. And it's going to hit over onto that Death Prophet, but it's moving so quickly. The 3 people in Dream Call and the double hoof stomp with the Mystic Flare. They bring down the Rubik. The Earthshaker able to get his Echo Slam off, but not the Totem Stomp follow-up. So 2 for the price of 0 at the moment. The bounty rune to be stolen by the Weaver.
Middle barracks are under attack.
And a haste rune for the Death Prophet.
Tower is under attack.
Everything they're searching for. Top lane still being fairly heavily pressured. I think Justin's getting ready to force in. Let's get over on the Courier. Now just a couple of Observer Wards. No new items coming in from him just yet. But Benjaz just gets chipped a little. Ah, these illusions. It's a level 14 Terrorblade. A 1442 build coming out from him. Doesn't care about reflection. Just goes for your images as well as your metamorphosis. But Justin just keeps fighting as well. He's almost got their second ultimate orb up and running. And this really is the danger zone for UG. Like, their pushing power is starting to whittle away. The Weaver's still looking quite decent, but the Desolator's still a little bit too far away for my liking on him. Compared to with the Terrorblade's timing, which seems to be a lot better. I know it's even on the field. I just have horror days from Warcraft 3 with Terrorblade and know what he's capable of achieving. I haven't actually played him at all in Dota 2. So the differences between the two of them I cannot claim. Man, so many runes. This is the point too, when we gotta be a little bit open-minded. So far though, we haven't seen a lot of action around the bottom area, around the bottom lane, or around the secret shop or the Radiant side. So the hilarious thing is, for the most of the map areas, even Roshad hasn't been touched at all. For most of the map areas which have been modified, these teams are going nowhere near it. So we don't actually get a really good evaluation in this game for those areas. What we do get is, however, the team still showing they're willing to fight, even with the bonus bounty. Now the Hellfire Blast jumping over on the Death Prophet. MSS, the drag back. He got stunned up as well. Phase shift, he'll evade the fissure. And now Dreamcaller can catch 4 heroes out in this one. With the Mystic Flare, the Yule Scepter will actually end up saving the Death Prophet. But in comes Centaur, able to get the double edge off. And now Terrorblade, well, battling it up the old-fashioned way. Jericho sealed up and silenced up. They're chasing after the poor little Rubik. Angel was able to TP himself away to safety. The Sentry Ward scouting out where Weaver was moving, but he's away to safety. The middle melee racks. MSS needs help here. Okay, no he doesn't. He brings out the Necro unit. And the orb damage is still way too much against those units. Up against the Treants.
Come.
For Alec Rack, I may have read the changelog incorrectly. I've just been tweeted that I said Geminate attack actually procs the Lincoln Sphere. It's the second attack of the Geminate. So when it does go, so it's not the initial attack when you got Geminate. It's just the second one, I believe. I may have read it incorrectly. In fact, I can double check this because I knew this kind of crap would happen. Yeah. Geminate can now Geminate attack can now proc items. Ah, you're talking about the other thing. Okay, I actually thought it was going to like proc Lincoln Sphere. As in proc the defense of it. So yes. There's our Skadi now over on Terrorblade. Getting bigger and bigger. Getting fatter and fatter too. Not to mention, it's just it's so much damage. And the kiting ability now of Justin is also getting so high. I'm really wondering if there's anybody on this UG lineup that can stand up against him. The Park Orb for a moment will be scouting out Benjaz, who quite visibly just flags his Lincoln Sphere ability. And MSS, oh, there's a run-up behind him. They're trying to have a crack here at the Skywrath mates. The jump in follow-up. Oh, hi! Woo! That's some burn. When you play with the sun, you get skin cancer. So that bit of the Weaver right there. Extinction of the bug race. Poor little Terrorblade unit. The Rubik's being forced away with it. Still another two of them up middle lane, because you never really know if the real one's going to be there. Judging by the amount of damage going into the creeps, however, you could say that's the real one. But a blink and hoof stomp, they catch out the Death Prophet, and then you damage. That Metamorphosis picks up, and then more Metamorphosis. At least the ES will have fun up against the Terrorblade once he picks up 5 million of himself. Now he's got that Blink Dagger up and running. So he could jump for the Echo Slam. With MSS coming in close, it's actually very, very dangerous for TD. The creep wave is not really that great, however. But this is what you see it. It's beautiful. The massive star effect. My god, our shield also being procced. Who bought their Crimson? They just run up high ground. There it is. It's the Centaur who bought the Crimson Guard. And they'll breach up in to the melee racks. Look at it melt. It just goes. They have no Death Prophet. This will be a double rack thing. We're 30 minutes in. And the man who is the ender of worlds, the ender of games, the Terrorblade, with the rest of the power of DD, they will take a second melee rack. They will back up because the Death Prophet is alive. Nature's Prophet's also TPing in here. Necro units, but a quick phase shift into a Blink Dagger, then all the way to safety. They won't catch up to him. The bottom tower wasn't harassed enough. Skywrath Mage, however, currently dying to a creep wave. But they got what they came for. Oh, MSS. The bounty! Arr! And I'm wondering if UG are now feeling that this is their last ditch effort. They have to get a kill straight into a push. That's all they could do. Terrorblade is so far in front right now. A 604. Net worth is now stretching up to 8,000. Advantage in favor of DD. 10,000 in the experience gain. And Justin's still sitting there with a 6-kill streak. And if they can kill him, which I'm not going to say is easy, especially with the fact he's got an Aegis Immortal up his sleeve after that Roshan before. Remember something a 5-second duration over on... default click to Roshan pip from before. It's a little bit further down. So yeah, we're already 3 and almost a half minutes through it. So we've only got one and a half minutes left on the Aegis Immortal. Now it's been moved from a 6-minute timer to a 5-minute timer.
Is under attack.
And a Jammer True Sight. Gonna watch that one pretty closely. Might even be worth giving that one over to Justin. I don't know if we want to drop the Ring of Aquila for that. Or his next big item. He's already got 4.8k gold on this guy. Centaur's looking for a good target. That Crimson Guard of his. It's a really cool effect though. I like that little red shield effect. Feybolt, so no easy jump in. The Terrorblade. Illusion's still getting stunned up. And Benjaz just going to attack it. Instantly get forced back out again. While on bottom lane, Pandago is currently taking a tier 2 tower solo. The Skywrath Mage just waiting for somebody to come in like that. So now you're 4-star Finn. seal him up. Mystic Flare, Orb attack damage, and Pandago, no Hellfire Blast, extra one there. He's being burnt out of his mana. Tries to get a swing and a crit. The Skywrath Mage Orb attack will get the kill. MSS also jumping in. The bugs are on his back at the moment. So he'll have a little bit of trouble getting out of here. That's a Dream Call to buy himself that space. Fissure still on cooldown for 5 more seconds. And, well, Chobo's trying to help get rid of that bug, which he'll be successful at. The puck will now be able to phase shift and then blink himself away to safety. While the Centaur try and chase him down, but the Earthshaker followed him all the way up. And now the stun's stolen by Rubik, but no way to instantly put it into somebody. And again, Justin pushing at the top lane. It's just... What did he buy? It's a butterfly. He's actually got a full butterfly. What is this? Weaver, I think, has realized the only way they're going to win this is with a massive amount of damage. So we're going to get a Divine Rapier built over on top of this Weaver. This is his only answer. It's the only answer to the DD lineup right now.
Coin of the realm.
It just means that courier changed color as well. Oh yeah, remember it changes color now when it comes out. It goes to the courier of the person who's summoning it. So the courier will actually modify itself multiple times in one game. Terrorblade, just buy your butterfly. You got the cash for it. No secret shop buying anymore. With the Ancient being up there, he's gonna walk up. Dude, you got 4k gold. He might be a little bit worried that, like, losing a team fight, he needs to come straight back again. But his net worth is 20,000. 20,000! Over on this Terrorblade. This is the easiest life in the world for DD because they're being carried by their Terror. And now he's going to force the bottom lane again to try and get to that tier 2 tower. Leave a couple of illusions behind. Give him all the money in the world, and there it is. The butterfly is now created. As he still had, he was making sure he still had buyback after. If his 504, or 604, sorry, I apologize, wasn't good enough. So what else do we got? Pandago, now walking around with a plate mail of his. More experience coming the way of the puck. The bounty. Both gold and experience get to come his way. We're looking down the bottom lane with Justin. Up to 2,000 up in the gold now. Just eats through everything. They can't attack him. Even with 5 heroes there, they can't do it. Now they've killed off Wraith King, they've burned off his mana, hence no reincarnation. But the tier 2 tower has gone down and Justin's still getting fatter and fatter. And these illusions will force the lane in. The top's already been forced in because Centaur's just giving it a nudge. But they're trying to come in and gank up inside the Radiant jungle because that's obviously where they have to keep their control. The Death Prophet with a Invis Room. There's Yule Sept in the illusion. Look at this. This is not real. This is not real. Like, PL, like, the cat may have been nerfed. But the terror is truer than ever. 2.7k gold now on a Terrorblade. How do you battle this guy? Is it even possible? Right now, Skywrath Mage also... Oh, we got an Aghanim's Puck. We actually have the Aghanim's Puck. So increase the damage from the call, increase the call duration, and the call breaks down now goes through your spell immunity. So no BKBs will be able to help you. Not that there's actually any being picked up over on this lineup right now. And is it a Radiance? I'm very disappointed, Benjaz. I am very disappointed. The Radiance Weave is not too bad. It gives you nice damage, but the burn effect, like, it's just trying to kill off one of the illusions. It's not enough. He really needed raw, pure damage to pump into somebody. The Monkey King Bar actually would have been a better choice considering the butterfly rate, like the speed it came up on the Terrorblade. Would have been a better choice for him. I'm also interested to see what Terrorblade goes as his next item. He's kind of already proven that he's tanky enough as it is. He could technically go into a heart. He could also technically... I don't know if the orbs actually stack. I'm trying to show you, remember my Warcraft 3 logic from that one. If you can go into Satanic. Oh, you don't need it with the Wraith King, actually. Jump him. Pandago being picked up and thrown back, but MSS staying on the lines. He's got Dream Call. He triggers it, but the hero's already dead. They jump in through the rear. They've got the Wraith King down, but then all of a sudden, Doombringer I mean, Doombringer, the Terrorblade, just mans up and comes out. Banjaz, a little bit too far out. The Lincoln Sphere will trigger, but they couldn't seal him up. He was capable of the Sunder. He changes with Pandago. And GG go next. It's over. They've lost too many heroes. The Terrorblade is too strong. And DD will take game number 1. And with it, they crush the last remaining hope there of UG. Because both teams now get themselves leveled up at 2-7 as the results. You needed 6 losses as a maximum to get yourself into the top 4 and into the playoffs, and that is not possible anymore. So our next game will be a dead rubber, which means we might also be seeing something very unique, different, and unusual. Stay tuned. Our next game will be coming up in just a couple of moments' time.